Horoscope, astrological forecast for February 2026 for representatives of the Scorpio sign. February 2026 for you is one of the key months of the year. In February, a full moon occurs in the sector of your status, career, and authority, bringing important and significant events to your affairs. And the first solar eclipse of 2026 activates for you a long-term program of searching, or rather creating, your ideal place in the sun. On one hand, yes, a kind of system imbalance, dissonance may be felt here. A dissonance between external events and internal state. A disruption of the usual balance between external social life and that part of it which we usually do not display may be felt. But dissonance is needed because there is no progress in perfect order, stability, predictability. There is no space for achievement in that, and only chaos creates such opportunities. This month sees a series of astrological events that give everyone the opportunity, as it were, to touch their own future, the opportunity to see where the chosen path leads. And if necessary, this path can be adjusted. These special days of contact with the future are February 12th, 18th, and 27th. Many astrological events in February occur in your 5th house, and this is the house of celebration, the house of our heart, the house of those choices we make in life based on the voice of our heart. And whatever decisions you make now, heartfelt decisions will influence your life for a long time. Or if a new passion appears for you now, whatever it may be, it will be for the long term. Speaking of heartfelt decisions, this is not only about personal life. We make many choices in our lives based on the voice and hints of our heart. For example, we make decisions related to our children or to people we love. Our choice of profession, hobbies, interests. All this is also dictated by the voice of our heart. And throughout February, you simply cannot muffle the voice of your heart with reason. Now is generally a time when it's worth, in principle, abandoning the concept of understanding how everything should be. Then, in fact, it is easier to build your life as it is, without comparing it to how it supposedly should be. Let's discuss in more detail the most important astrological events of February and their influence on your sign step by step. February 1st brings a bright and ambitious full moon in the sign of Leo in your 10th house, the sector of your status, career, your position on the social and career ladder. The 10th house shows our status in work, career, our family position as well. The 10th house is the highest house of our horoscope, its zenith, and a full moon is the energy of culmination, clarity, and results. Therefore, the energy of this full moon shows that here you receive the results of those affairs, those processes you have been engaged in for some time. That is, this full moon gives results and clarity in affairs, especially in affairs that could have been started or conceived by you around the end of July 2025, when a new moon occurred in this sector. This full moon may touch upon issues related to obtaining documents, issues concerning your work, your employment, your career, and your circle of duties. It may also be a period when an important conversation takes place between you and your boss, supervisor, or when you visit some government institution to resolve your issues. This is a time when you may receive a document that confirms your status. It could be a diploma, documents related to your own business. It could be a marriage certificate, a child's birth certificate, or a property registration certificate. This time may also bring a conversation with an important person for you, a person on whom the state of your affairs depends to some degree. February 5th, the planet Mercury will be in a tense square aspect to Uranus. This is tense energy, and on this day, much may not go according to plan. There may be disruptions in the usual schedule, timetable, or in the operation of familiar items, familiar things. For example, there may be interruptions in internet service or the operation of some electrical appliances. The mood or state of other people may influence your plans on this day. Throughout this day, it is better to avoid any disputes and confrontations over the question of who's in charge here. Also, if you work with people, they may surprise you, your clients, for example, suddenly changing their opinion or decision. February 6th, the planet Mercury moves into the domain of Pisces, into your 5th house, and Mercury will remain here unusually long for Mercury, until April 16th of this year. Mercury symbolizes our words, logic, memory, information we work with. Such a long stay of Mercury in this sector shows that your attention will be concentrated here. I will make a separate video about this long Mercury loop in Pisces. Here it will later turn retrograde, as there will be a series of traps worth discussing in detail. Mercury, again, symbolizes our thoughts, logic, our words, decisions. And in the sign of Pisces, it is rather weak. It has nothing to lean on here. Therefore, this is a time when it may be difficult to say what needs to be said at a given moment. It is a time when we may hide something, understate, when what doesn't actually exist seems more real to us than what is confirmed by objective facts. Nevertheless, for your sign, this transit of Mercury is quite favorable because Mercury will be in a fortunate aspect relative to your sign. Mercury will be in the space of your 5th house. This is the house of joy, celebration, passions, feelings. It is the house that symbolizes our children and our creative projects. I will make a separate video detailing the essence of this Mercury transit and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 8th. On this day, the planet Venus will be in a tense square aspect to Uranus. This is tense energy, and here someone may disturb your peaceful state by drawing you into their worries, problems, or anxieties. On this day, you should avoid any experiments with your appearance and style. You should also avoid large, expensive purchases. The actions of other people on this day may interfere with you and your plans. February 10th. On this day, the planet Mercury will be in a tense square aspect to the black moon, Lilith. This is an important day worth marking in your calendar. On this day, the setup of a black moon-like plot occurs, which will not end on this day. It will have a continuation around the middle and end of March 2026. Mercury symbolizes our thoughts, words, logic, information, and the black moon distorts all these processes, introduces an element of error, illusion, and mirage. Therefore, throughout this day, it is very important to ensure that you have not created a point of information distortion, because there may be a probability that we are misunderstood or we misunderstand some information. That's some understatement. Some omission. All this in the future, in the middle and end of March, will create some problem. On this day, you should not make promises that may be difficult to keep. You should ensure that your interlocutors have correctly understood what you wanted to say. And it is also important to ensure that you yourself have correctly understood your interlocutors. Also, throughout this day, it is better to avoid financial spending on some, so to speak, not very necessary things for you. If suspicions arise during this day, you should not rush to conclusions. A little later, everything will fall into place. Also on February 10th, the planet Venus moves into the domain of Pisces, into your 5th house, where it will remain until March 7th. Venus is the conductor of well-being into our world and our affairs, the conductor of emotional and material well-being. The 5th house, where it will be for you, is the house of joy, celebration, creativity, flirtation, falling in love, and also the house of our children. Moreover, Venus will be in a fortunate aspect relative to your sign. Therefore, this is a very favorable transit of Venus for you. Here Venus speaks of your passion for something or someone, speaks of romance, flirtation, speaks of the fact that your children may please you with something. This is a time when we can find hidden pleasure in something, for example, find an interesting book, movie, series, or some passion we engage in without publicizing it. Therefore, in general, this Venus transit will bring you something pleasant to your heart or wallet. February 12th is an important point of the month. On this day, a conjunction of the planet Mercury and the North Node occurs. This conjunction happens in your 5th house. This is a day when our thoughts and words generate events that will occur around the end of August 2026. Mercury is our thoughts, words, decisions, information. The North Node is the point of the future, the point of entry into a new space. This point shows the vector, the direction of the route of our destiny. Therefore, this day is an excellent time for planning your future, especially in such aspects that do not imply something serious, responsible, and weighty. This conjunction occurs in your 5th house, the house of joy. Therefore, here you should plan events related to something bright, festive, with success. It is a time for planning, for example, a trip or some festive, solemn event. It is a time for planning the development of some of your creative projects or processes related to your children. Also, since Mercury is our thoughts, information, and the North Node is the point of the future, on this day we can receive many hints about our future. This may come to us both in the form of information from outside, some conversations, information, news, and as information born within us in the form of some insights, unexpected thoughts. February 14th. On this day, the planet Saturn, the lord of time, karma, and responsibility, transitions again, now finally, into the domain of Aries, into your 6th house. Saturn will remain here for a long time, until April 2028. Saturn's transit shows the sphere of our life where we can expect additional responsibility. For you, this is the space of the 6th house, which symbolizes labor, our daily duties, symbolizes the conditions in which we live and work, and also symbolizes our healthy lifestyle, our attitude towards ourselves. This transit shows that it is precisely in these spheres of your life that certain actions are expected from you. Saturn, on one hand, conducts a revision of how your life is organized, and on the other hand, considering that the planet Neptune has already entered this sector, this shows that you are getting the opportunity to create ideal employment conditions for yourself, to create such living and working conditions for yourself that are convenient for you, yet still require discipline. I will make a separate video detailing the essence of this Saturn transit and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 16th. On this day, the planet Mercury will be in a fortunate aspect relative to Jupiter. This aspect shows luck in affairs. It is a favorable time for resolving any bureaucratic issues. This aspect influences plus minus a few days. Some trip may take place here, even if not a long one, then for a few days. There will also be an opportunity to vividly express your individuality and charisma. It is a wonderful time for various kinds of publications, presentations, speeches. This aspect will manifest especially brightly in the affairs of those of you born between November 6th and 10th of any year. Well, all of you, regardless of exact birth date, will feel the favorable influence of luck during this period. February 17th. On this day, the first eclipse of 2026 occurs. This is a solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius in your 4th house. This eclipse marks the beginning of the year of the fire horse and the moment of activation of the fiery energies of 2026. In this sector, in this zodiac sign, and in this sector of your horoscope, there hasn't been an eclipse for a long time, since 2018. On one hand, this eclipse shows the activation of a new task, a new long-term program. On the other hand, the events of this period will resonate with those events, decisions, choices you made between August 2017 and August 2018. In which sphere of life is this eclipse for you? The eclipse occurs in your 4th house. This is the sector that symbolizes our home, our place of residence, and intra-family matters. Therefore, this eclipse activates for you a program of searching, or rather creating, your ideal place of residence, your ideal place in the sun. For everyone, this will manifest in its own way. For some, through planning renovations, moving. For others, through emigration, moving to another city or country. For others, through resolving issues related to your real estate, sale, acquisition. For others, through acquiring a land plot or a dacha. For some, it will manifest through changes in intrafamily relationships or as an expansion of your family composition. This could be marriage, birth of children, grandchildren, obtaining some important documents related to your family status or your property rights. There may also be important events in the affairs of your family members. I will make a separate video detailing the essence of this eclipse and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 18th is another important point in shaping the future. On this day, the planet Venus, the source of joy and earthly blessings, will be in conjunction with the North Node in your 5th house. Venus symbolizes our desires, and the North Node is such a hot, insatiable energy that heats up and scales the desires and ambitions of Venus. Therefore, if on this day you want everything at once, that is a good sign. On this day, it is favorable to please yourself with something. Make yourself a little celebration, shopping, or what you love to pamper yourself. It is good to plan the future on this day because our thoughts, words, our desires voiced on this day will lead to specific events around July 11, 2026. It is favorable on this day to please not only yourself, but also a person close to you or your child. Also, this day will bring hints, signs about your future, hints about what is to come. February 20th. On this day, a historical astrological event occurs. A conjunction of the planets Saturn and Neptune takes place in your 6th house. This signifies the beginning of a new world order. Saturn is external, conscious order, and Neptune is internal, unconscious order. And the conjunction of these two planets shows that the hands of the giant world clock have aligned, that a new time is beginning. The conjunction of these planets occurs in the sign of Aries. This is a very fast and fiery energy, so this conjunction will bring the world a series of rapid and unexpected events. In your horoscope, these two planets meet in the 6th astrological field. This is the sector that shows our labor, shows the domestic organization of our life, shows our routine and daily life, shows how conditions are organized at our work and at home. And for you, this means the beginning of a new order, a new organization of your life. Of course, on this day only their contact occurs. This does not mean everything will change throughout this day, but it is the point of the beginning of beginnings. I will also make a separate video about this rare historical astrological event and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 22nd. On this day, the planet Venus will be in a fortunate aspect relative to Jupiter. This is a lucky day for work, love, luck in business, and this aspect will influence plus minus a few days. It is a time of generous gifts, and it is a time when our desires coincide with our possibilities. February 26th. On this day, the planet Mercury turns retrograde, a motion that will last until March 21st. Mercury's station and its entire retrograde loop will pass through your 5th house. Retrograde Mercury gives a kind of retrospection when we return to affairs and conversations that seemed completed to us. It is a time when we correct mistakes, find some shortcomings, or return to those plans and projects we once did not bring to a result. The 5th house of your horoscope, where Mercury will be retrograde, is the house of joy. Therefore, for you, this is a time when you can again do what once brought you joy and pleasure. It is a time when we tend to reread books we liked, rewatch movies. It is also a time when we can return to some projects we planned with our children. It is a very good time to return to your hobbies, passions, to the realization of your creative projects. It is also a time when we can fulfill those promises we once made to people we love. February 27th. On this day, the planet Mars, the source of strength and energy, will be in a tense square aspect to Uranus. This is tense and conflict-prone energy, and it may manifest especially vividly in the affairs of those of you born at the very end of your sign between November 19th and 22nd. But for everyone, this day is tense and conflict-prone, both at home and at work. Throughout this day, you should not rush. You should not enter into any disputes, conflicts. You should not try to prove something to anyone. And if the people around you behave nervously on this day, know that it's not about you, but about their own problems. Also on February 27th, the Sun passes the aspect of conjunction with the North Node, the node of the future. Their conjunction passes through your 5th house. The Sun is our self, our consciousness, our role, our image. The North Node is the point of new space. It is the indicator of our root. Therefore, on this day we can also receive hints about our future. And since the Sun is our self, on this day it is worth thinking precisely about yourself, about your personal plans, about your ambitions, about how you want to see yourself, who and what you want to become. Such, from an astrological point of view, will be February 2026. I wish you a wonderful, successful month, dear Scorpios.